Can anybody guess what it is? Hello friends! I'm really excited today because I just got some new supplies and I want to unwrap them, show you what they are, and jump right into painting. I also got these new water brush pens, and it's a set with several different types of tips. I used to hate these brushes, but now I have this desire to be able to do really quick on-the-go studies without digging through my bag for all of my supplies. This way I could even just fill my brushes with these 3 colors and put them in my pocket and then just paint while I'm standing up outside. That's what we're gonna try out. So I've examined my brushes and it looks like I have 3 flat tips and 3 round tips with fine points. I think what we'll just do first is just test it out as it is and then go from there. I had heard so many rumors about liquid watercolors, how they're extremely pigmented and you only need a teeny tiny little drop, and it was a little bit true, but it didn't like knock my socks off or anything. It kind of felt just like very liquidy versions of the tube paints, which, I mean, I guess that's the whole point, right? But they did act just like regular watercolors. They're so vibrant, they mix beautifully, and they flow really, really smoothly. I honestly don't know how I'm supposed to fill this gracefully. This would be a lot easier if I had a funnel of some kind, but I don't. So we're just gonna drop a teeny bit in first. Now we'll do 1 drop of the Quinacridone violet. It's now in there. Okay, now I guess I'm gonna go fill this up with water. I have to admit, I had so much trouble getting the right darkness levels. I had to keep going back and forth, adding more pigment or adding more water just to get it right. And I ended up with a good mixture of colors, but it took so long to do this. It was kind of ridiculous. So maybe it's just me. I just need to get used to the process or something. We're out in the forest. It's just barely warm enough where I think I'll be okay for some sketching. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. So what I do when I'm walking outside, I'm in the mood to sketch, I'm looking for something interesting, something that catches my eye, good lighting, interesting composition. It can be a close-up of something or it can be a really far away view. The key is not spending too much time trying to decide what to do, just jump straight in. So I ended up finding this fallen tree that was kind of still growing, and it had blankets of beautiful moss all over it, and it was backlit, so it was kind of glowing on the edges, and oh, it was just so beautiful in the morning light. So I immediately planted myself there. And as I mentioned previously, I really wanted to use these markers. Like, I wanted to do quick studies. I wanted to be able to stand up. I didn't want to have to sit down and get everything out and plant myself permanently in a spot for a while. Like, I just wanted the option to sketch and go. So once I figured out that I could hook the pens onto my sketchbook, it was kind of perfect. And it was nice to have all the colors right there in front of me. Once I got into painting, I realized how tricky this actually is. So one of the issues is that you have to squeeze the brushes to get the pigment and the water to flow, which for me was kind of disruptive to my normal process. So that in itself is a huge thing to get used to. And it was also really difficult to know how much was going to come out each time I squeezed it. Sometimes it would be a little, sometimes it would be a lot and be really, really dark all of a sudden. So I was doing lots of shorter brush strokes and trying to blend it with my finger. I would kind of like put the pigment down and then smooth it out with my finger because I didn't really have like a clean brush to work with. All the brushes had pigment on them. It was also a little bit tricky because each brush was so different and the color was married to the brush type. So if I wanted to do like thin lines with the purple, that was really difficult because it's in the giant fan brush. So things like that I think are going to take a while to get used to. However, I did love the fact that it was so quick and easy to do this sketch. I was there for longer than I wanted to, but I think that's because I was getting used to the brushes. So I don't know, there's a lot of ups and downs with this process, and I think just like anything else, it's going to take a lot of practice and just getting used to it. So this is what it looks like in the sun. Obviously, these are very pastel colors, so it was a challenge because I couldn't really go dark. I ended up adding some colored pencil just to give it a little more definition, and I liked it so much better after that. I ended up doing another outdoor study, and this time I found these really amazing trees growing in this old canal in the forest. So an awesome subject to draw. I really like to find unique things like this out in the forest and sketch it because photos are cool, but I just love being able to really connect with these unique features in person. It just seems to stay with me longer than a photo does. So I really want to test out how well these pens will work if I only have like 5 minutes, you know. So I wouldn't be standing around taking my time as much as I did on the last one. It's like, can I capture something I see on my walks really fast in an interesting way? This is an interesting brush because of how scratchy it is, because it's more like a fan brush. By the way, how is the footage today? This is all shot on my phone. I got a new phone, a Samsung Galaxy Note Plus 10 Plus or something like that. It's a lot of names for a phone, but I love it because I can sketch on my phone with the stylus that comes with it. That's literally the reason I got it. And I discovered that the camera is amazing. Let me know if it's okay. Alright, how's that? I think I should call it. I stayed here for longer than I actually planned. There we have it. See if I can line it up properly. Pretty much. After about a week and a half of using these brushes, I realized that they aren't horrible. They just take a little getting used to. So I've been playing with them more and more. I realized that I mostly only like using them for doing just like the really quick sketches outside, and I prefer to only use one or two. So I've actually been using them more in like a monotone way, which is great. And sometimes that's all I need to be able to capture the lights and the shadows that I'm interested in outside. And the brushes themselves are quite responsive, and despite being synthetic bristles, they perform pretty well. It's mostly just a matter of getting used to the flow and having to squeeze the handle quite often. So yeah, if you can get used to that, I think that you'd be fine with these. And the liquid watercolors are also just absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to utilize them more on the larger scale. So I'll be playing with that soon, and hopefully I'll be able to share a fun video with you guys. But otherwise, I hope everyone is staying safe out there and healthy, and I will see you guys again very soon.